Good evening, everyone. It's lovely to have everyone here. I'm really excited to do this. When Nobi preached out and said, "Hey, can you do this?" And I thought, oh my goodness, the topic is right up my alley. It's a sweet spot between all the things that I love to do and I love to teach and coach people about. So I'm pretty certain that tonight will be a very good investment of time. But I'm willing to share as much as I can within the allotted time to help us clarify whatever it is that we're building, have goals that we can actually move forward with, and then grow whatever that venture is. So everybody here today or anyone watching this later on is probably a business owner, existing, aspiring, a founder, a creator, someone who is originating something. And I'm pretty certain that there are definitely things for you to go away with today. I've done my best to ram them into the 90 or no, the 60 minutes that I have. And I hope that you'll find it as impactful as I did find it preparing to deliver this presentation and facilitate this today. So we're talking about strategic planning for impact. It is not enough to just have a vision, and we're going to see that soon in some of the thoughts that I'll be sharing with us. It's also important that we know what to do with it and how to go about it. Many people have different things that are brewing or they've been brooding on for a long time, or you've probably already even started with something, but maybe there's no approach, there's no structure, there's no strategy to it. That's why we're here tonight, and we're going to be exploring all those things together. My name is Dokun Nochiranye. A lot of people call me Mrs. Notch. I'm the founder and executive director of Thriving African Families. I have also started businesses in the community. I have a business called Mrs. Notch Foods that I started about 4 years ago to make African spice blends for people of African heritage who are craving comfort foods or familiar spices that they enjoy to consume. Also, I wanted to present spices into the market that were free of additives, preservatives, and all of those things that are currently in some of the things that are in our pantries, but we don't know are not good for our health. So I learned how to create from scratch 100% natural spices. And it is based on that experience as a business owner and as a nonprofit founder, which, by the way, is a business as well. A nonprofit organization is also a business. The only difference is that you're not making profit. You're going to run it, you're going to set it up, you're going to do everything just as you would any other business. So I'll be drawing a lot from that experience, and I'll be bringing up a case study for us to look at when we get to a particular spot where I feel you will find most useful. You're free to take screenshots so that you can revisit this later and sit with it. I want you to go back and sit with it because you can't catch everything at once. I will probably move at a very high altitude because I'm trying to cover the material. So take your time and go through it later and sit with it and craft it according to what it is that you're building currently or what you are trying to initiate. And I can guarantee you that it will work for you. So let's start with some inspired thoughts. I wanted to look at a few things to shift our mindset and just reorganize our thoughts so that we're thinking in the direction that I want us to go. The first one is that you in particular, are the greatest asset in your vision. You are the most important asset in your vision, and you have to start to see yourself as an asset. Just as, let's say, you're setting up a restaurant and you have a cooker, you have a place where you display your food when it is hot, and then you serve that to clients. You have chefing dishes, you have dinnerware, you have tableware. Those things are assets for your business. They are things that you use to run your business. So you, as a person, are an asset in the work that you're doing, and you have to begin by clarifying yourself. There's many components of you, and you will need all of those things to execute the work. For example, someone who wants to start a fashion business, maybe you want to start a clothing line, for example, for children. Who are you in this piece? What do you represent in what you're building? Understanding thoroughly who you are is going to give you a clear roadmap in itself on how to build what you're doing. Have you had experience with children's clothes? Did you have fancy clothes as a child? Maybe you had the opportunity to dress up and play nice as a child, and you started to experiment with colors and designs and all of those things. All those things will matter. So you have to clarify yourself first. And I see a lot of and creators and creatives jump right into their work without unpacking themselves and what they bring to the table, not recognizing that they are the biggest asset in itself. So spend as much time as possible clarifying yourself. And I'll give us some tools on how to do that today. Did you know that the average human being is said to have over 1,000 unique ideas every year? And at least four of those ideas are capable of making them into billionaires. So we all get ideas all the time. That's where businesses start from. That's where empires start from. It's always an idea. And an idea may not come with thunderbolts and lightning. It may just be a quiet whisper. It may be an agitation in your mind. It may be a restlessness. It may be a problem that you've always seen or you continue to see or you complain about. It may be a need that you have. Recently, I had a need and I called my sister to see how she could help with that. And just in that conversation, I said to her, what if somebody started a business around this to provide XYZ service at XYZ time, using XYZ kind of human capital to deliver XYZ kind of product? And she said, wait a minute, I can do that. That's right up my alley. And I said, okay, so start writing. And just in that conversation, in a casual conversation between sisters, we developed the business, we designed it. She's done the business plan. The following day, she told me, I have a business plan, it's ready. And I said, okay, go for it. You know what to do from here on. Just like that. And by the time it is launched, nobody is going to know that it was just a casual phone conversation between sisters. One was complaining about a problem she had, and the other one said, I am actually able to do that. I've been trained for this. This is my skill set, and I can deliver this. So she's going to launch it as a business. And maybe if I'm lucky, I'll be a shareholder and I can get a portion of her dividends. Ideas come from everything. It was Alfred Hitchcock that said this. Ideas come from everything, from problems, from pain, from purpose, from inspiration, excuse me, from friendships, from conversations. Many of my best ideas came while I was preparing food for myself or my family in the kitchen. I was just making the food, and because my mind was quiet and maybe there's nobody around me, and cooking can be very therapeutic, some ideas just start brimming. So I often have my phone with me when I'm in the kitchen, not too far away, and I grab it and I write down those ideas and I go through them and look at the ones that I want to run with or how it integrates into what I'm already building. Ideas can come from anything at any time. Some people have their best ideas when they're taking a shower because there they have solitude. Maybe they like water. The sound of the water is soothing, it's calming. They can think. Their mind is open. Some have their best idea in the morning because they've had a good rest. Their mind is still. They can think straight. They can just start their day on a fresh note. So they start to think about solutions. That happens to me a whole lot. Whenever I have something that I need to solve or something that I need to develop, I just think about it before I go to bed at night. And when I wake up in the morning, I wake up with answers. I just know exactly what to do. And I sit with my computer or I take my notes and I write it out and I build it out and I just send everything in the right direction because that clarity, those ideas come at that particular time. So you have to understand that. But that is because I've clarified me. I know how things work with me. And so I can position my requests or my desires at the right strategic points in my life for me to get answers to the things that I'm working on. Also, having a vision is not enough. So you have a vision to maybe start making children's clothes, for example. That's great. You're probably not the only one that has that idea. If you don't have a plan to make it happen, it's not going to happen. Or you want to start a podcast and you've been talking about it since 2020. This is 2025. You're still talking about it. You still haven't done it. You want to write a book. You want to start a blog. You want to, something. You still haven't done it because you didn't have a plan to make it happen. I always say that wishes, uh, they don't always come true, but plans, you can hold yourself accountable to that. So It's not enough to have a vision, you have to have a plan, because a vision without a plan is just a wish. An impact without a strategy is accidental because you can't replicate it. If you don't have a strategy, you cannot replicate it. So strategic planning is a skill, is a learned skill that you apply not only in business, but in everything that concerns you. You have to be strategic about it. Even in your relationships with subordinates, with superiors, with friends, you have to be strategic. I'm strategic in my relationship with my friends because I've clarified that portion of my life. I know the friends that are consultants, the friends that are associates, the friends that are catalysts, the friends that are influencers. I know the people that are mentors. I know the people that are leaders, the people that are forerunners, the people that are coaches. They are all very different. If somebody is a catalyst or somebody is a nurturer, I can't take a business idea to them. They're not going to help me with that. They're not going to know what to do. They're going to try to nurture me and say, oh, are you okay? How are you feeling? How are things with you? But that's not what I need right now. I need to launch my clothing line for children. So if I take it to someone who is a consultant, they're going to know exactly what to do. They're going to speak the language of business, and I'll be able to run with the things that I get from there. So you see that much later because I have it built in here that you need to clarify your relationships as well. Strategy is between ideas and execution. So whenever you have an idea and you don't know how to go about it, or you've tried and it hasn't worked, it's because you don't have a strategy in place. So you need that strategy so that you can take the guesswork out of things and hope that it will work out. Or as Africans, we are praying that this business will be profitable or it'll be successful. Yes, prayer works, but you do need a plan. And every kind of religion has a strategy behind it. They have a full business model behind it. No kidding. When you look at it, you realize that this is business. It is a business of souls. It is a business of people. And there's a way to run it. There's a way to do it. Recently, someone was talking about a religious organization that has gone agile. And I said to him, I can't even believe you used the word agile in the same sentence as religious organization. He said, yes, because that's done. They are lean. I was like, my goodness. And we just looked at the business model of that organization together and we were mind blown. It's the same way for anything you want to build, whether it's an endeavor. What I did was to build a business and I also build a knowledge. So it's the same strategies that you deploy all the time. All right. So I said that you're the greatest asset in the work that you want to do or in whatever it is you want to birth or you want to launch, or maybe you've been to Nobip and you say, hey, this is my business, but I'm not really clear. It's just my passion. It's something that I want to do. It's just a burden that I have. It's something that I've always had in me. No problem. You may not have the full picture because you haven't clarified you. What is your personal productivity? How does that work? How do you work? How do you function? What is your best time? When do you create your best work? When do you do your best work as a person? You should know the time of the day or the time of the year that you do your best work. For example, December is not a time that I do my best work. My year actually starts in November. By November, I'm already into the things that I want to do for the next year. So December, I just want to play. I just want to enjoy the festive season. I'm not doing my best work then. I'm doing my annual report of my year for my personal life, not business now. So that's not the time I do my best work. You must know how this works for you as well. When am I at my best, at my finest, at my sharpest? That is the time that you allocate to building whatever endeavor you want to build. And then you must know your big why. Why am I even doing this? Recently, I will need this because at some point the going might get rough. The journey might be tough. Things might be challenging. Things might be hard. If you do not know your big why, you will pack it up. You will literally throw in the towel because you will be overwhelmed by the sheer weight. Visions are heavy. Businesses are heavy. When someone says they're a founder, a CEO, an ED, a leader of any sort, even a parent, it's heavy. It's heavy on your shoulders. It's a lot of responsibility. And sometimes the weight is a lot. Sometimes it's crumbling. Sometimes you rather run away than show up. So you got to know your big why because that is what will sustain you in the days that there's no paraphernalia and fun and excitement. Then your values are important. Our values are the reasons why we do the things we do. Recently, I was told by a coach that
kindness is one of my values. I didn't even know that it was one of my values. And she said, every time I have a session with you, in 30 minutes, you've said kindness like 5 times. And I said, really? She said, I actually count and write it down. And I thought, oh my goodness, I didn't know. She said, your kindness is a value for you. You move with kindness. You're even kind to your enemies. You're kind to people who are not kind to you. You're kind. And you always talk about raising your kids to be kind. You talk about extending kindness to people when people would otherwise treat them otherwise. So, what are your values? You can write down 5 things that are important to you. Some people, punctuality is a value for them. If you are late to respond to their emails, late to meet them up somewhere, they are not happy. They are upset with you because you've stepped on their values. So our values come from our core, the things that are most important to you. You have to know that because as a business owner, it's going to be important. If you're a caterer, for example, and punctuality is not one of your values, maybe it's ranking from behind and you deliver food at the end of a party, you will be out of business shortly. That is a very accurate projection. So, your values are important as a business owner. It guides you, it's a compass, it directs you, it lets you know where you want to veer into or where you'd rather not go. Your values will restrain you. Your values will confine you. Your values become your boundaries in business. You determine who you do business with because of your values. If your values are aligned, you are going to be on the same table. You're going to be doing things together. If they're not aligned, you will know quite easily. But that is if you've clarified your values. And then your motivations, that's the why. What pushes you to do things? Why did you join this webinar? There must be something that motivated you, the desire to learn something about this topic that connects with something you need to do. You got to hit that nail on the head. What is my motivation for doing this? Money is a very weak motivation for doing business because money is the lowest form of wealth. There are about different types of wealth. Money is the lowest. Anybody can get money, right? Kids have money, they have a piggy bank. Money is not the ultimate thing. And a lot of people have a lot of money, then they start to operate in other currencies of wealth, then you know that, oh my goodness, this is way more than money. There's sometimes that I didn't have bank, but I had a lot of I had a lot of relational capital. There were relationships that I could actually cash. There were relationships that turned into money. I'm not kidding. They turned into business opportunities. There are referrals that will put money in your bank, but that person who referred you is not going to give you a penny. So you got to know what your motivations are. Then how do you learn? You must know how you learn. Some people learn best by listening. As a business owner, you set yourself up for success when you understand how you learn. So, if you are an auditory learner, you learn by listening. Podcasts should be your friends, audiobooks should be your friends. You should go into meetings and conversations where great minds are speaking. As they're speaking, your mind will literally be exploding with ideas. Some people learn best in an academic environment. Those are the people that like to go to school after school, course after course, program after program. So you do that as a business owner for the areas where you are not strong because you know that that is how you learn. Set yourself up for success by understanding how you learn. Some people learn best by reading. So go big on that. Look for information on your business, look for information on your sector and read yourself. You literally read your way into another level. If you want to move up in your business, if you want to grow or scale something, you literally read your way into the next level even before people see the results, you have banked up so much knowledge from reading that things begin to open up for you. And then you must know your strengths and your abilities. It's called strengths based living. I didn't really start to evolve into higher versions of myself until I understood what my strengths a free personality test. Go and do the paid one. Clifton Strength Finder has to be some kind of compulsory module for all entrepreneurs. You got to know what your highest strengths are. The reason is because your strengths are a down payment for you to fulfill your assignment. And that could be a business, it could be whatever it is you want to do. Your strengths are a down payment for that. Every single thing you know how to do excellently, it is for a reason. It is for you to deliver on the work that you're supposed to do. The things that you are weak in, you will never be ace in that. At best, you will be okay, you will improve, you will be average. But the things that you're already great at, that are your strengths and existing abilities, especially the ones that you don't have to really learn, those are the ones that you invest in elevating and polishing and growing and scaling. Those are the ones that you channel into your business. Even as a business owner, when you are hiring, you hire from the places where you are weak. So if you're good in accounting, you don't need to hire another person that is great in that, because you can deliver that portion. So you go for the areas where you're not strong. But that is if you have clarified you. If you understand that my strength is in this, I'm going to use this to train, to grow my team, to grow my business. I've done it, and I continue to do it as well. Even thriving, I said to myself, well, how am I going to be different? What am I going to utilize here? I said, no problem. What is it that I know very well that I can do really, really, really well? And those are the things that I cash in on. And with minimal effort in your areas of strength, you begin to look like a superstar because you're already well oiled in that area. Your personality matters. You need to know what you are. I use it a lot in my line of work. I am I'm a very personable person. I cash that. I literally cash it. I use it to build strategic relationships and partnerships. I bring my personality to bear. I'm very warm. I'm very personable. I relate well with people. I use those things for my business. You can't be a business owner and not care about your personality or say that's the way I am. You will lose business. You will lose customers. You will lose revenue. Your mindsets and beliefs also matter. If you don't believe that your business can compete with the likes of Tesla and all the wonderful empires that have been built today, it will pull you back. It will hold you back. It will reflect in your pricing. You will have what we call poverty pricing. You will have the kind of pricing that by the time you deduct your cost and your labor from your selling price, there's nothing left. But you're excited because someone paid a huge amount into your account and you think you have money, but you don't even know the business math and you don't realize that I'm not making money. You're afraid to charge certain amounts. Those things will affect your business if you do not clarify them. And then your relationships, I talked about that earlier. You have to categorize people accordingly. Know who serves what purpose. Know who you need for what. There are people that I go to when I need counseling. There are people that I go to when I need someone to hold space for me. That's not the same person as a mentor or coach. That's not what they're there for. You'll be misappropriating that relationship if you do not clarify that. And then your habits. There's some habits that can burn you as a business owner. It will literally make your business go up in flames. You got to deal with that because nobody is going to say it's your weakness. This is business. You have to deliver. Like the example I gave earlier, you're a caterer. My event starts at 12 noon. You said I'm not really a punctual person. I don't really wake up early. I actually woke up at 10 o'clock. You're waking up at 10 o'clock for an event that starts at 12 as a caterer. You're going to be late. Your lateness is going to sabotage your beautiful business idea because you haven't dealt with that. And then what are the current limitations you have? You have to know what season you are in your own life. Are you able to accommodate this business right now? Or at this level, what can you do currently? Those things matter. Maybe you're in school, maybe you now have a partner, maybe you're now in a new country, or you're in a new job, or you have another child. Excuse me. You have another child, or you have young children. Those things will play into your business one way or the other. And then because we're Africans, spirituality is tied to everything that we do. A lot of times we make decisions from as Africans or as Black entrepreneurs. So you have to clarify that aspect of you as well. And then when you're clarifying your idea, and I see a lot of entrepreneurs jump into, okay, I want to start a clothing line. Where can I get materials? Where and what are my designs? When can I start? I'm going to even make a flyer and start telling everybody that I now have children's clothes for sale. I don't, without a proper structure, things are not properly built, or you're running your business from inside your house under your table. That is not a business at all. You don't mean business when you do that way. You have no information, you have no details. We Google you, we can't find you. You have no bank account, you have no registration. You're just doing something in the name of doing something. That's not a business. You have not understood the problem. You need to understand what the problem that you're solving is. So I'm making children's clothes. How is that a solution? You're making children's clothes. Well, good for you. How does that affect my life? But you're in the business of confidence and appearance when you are making clothes. And you have to know even who you are making those clothes for. There's someone that I met at a festival, and she said, I I help high achieving women wear clothes that attract opportunities they desire. That was her value proposition. It was on her business card. I spent the money I wasn't planning to spend at her booth that day because I identify as a high achieving woman and I want to attract opportunities that I desire. So I considered myself her target audience. And indeed, her clothes fit my taste. They fit what I was dressing for because I dress ahead of myself. I dress for my future. I don't dress for where I am. I dress for where I want to go. And so her clothes looked like where I wanted to go. And I bought them. I even went above my budget because they worked for me. She solved a problem that I had at that time. She didn't say, I sell clothes, Mrs. Notch, come and buy my clothes. That's the pitch that a lot of us have. I make cakes, come and buy my cakes. And if I give any examples, I apologize in advance. It's not personal. I don't know anyone's business. I'm just giving random examples. So understand the problem. What's the problem that your business is solving? If you don't do this, you won't be in business for long. Why? Why are you setting up this business? Why should we care about your business? You got to solve a problem. Do you need to buy clothes for your children that don't become small in 1 year? Click on this link to buy. I will click because my children are growing faster than their clothes. I will click. You've just identified a problem that I have. I'm going to buy them. Do you want to buy durable clothes that represent your your professionalism as a young professional or something like that? I will click, I will buy because it makes sense to me. Probe the problem. What is the problem that exists in your niche, in your industry? So you're a caterer. Okay, thank you. There are many caterers in Sudbury. Why? What problem are you solving? Access to cultural foods, comfort foods. Someone just opened a Jamaican restaurant. There are different restaurants in Sudbury. You are addressing the comfort needs of that niche, that sector, people who are from that place. That's a beauty. You've probed the problem well. What is affecting people that your business, your solution can solve? That's problem probing. You have to find out who is doing this thing already. How many restaurants are there in Sudbury? Maybe 52. How many of those restaurants serve Jamaican food? Maybe one. Okay, there's an opportunity then because one Jamaican restaurant is not enough for the whole of Sudbury. We have how many Jamaicans in Sudbury? You got to do your market analysis. You got to find out those things. So when you go to Nobib and they ask you some of these questions, they're not trying to stress you. It is because if you don't have those things on lockdown, your business cannot survive, let alone thrive. So you got to probe the problem very well. How is this a problem for us? And what can I do? In your ideal world, if that problem went away, what do things look like? Somebody created a pair of shoes that can convert from flats to heels because she discovered or she observed that a lot of women wear heels and then they carry a pair of flats that they can change into later on. And she thought, why do you need an extra bag? Why do you need to take more, something else in addition to what you already have? How about one shoe that can do those two things? That was the problem she was solving. So in her ideal world, every woman has a pair of shoes for the day and they can switch it into whatever it is that they need. And then you can now move into solving that problem. How does this idea solve problems for people? Then you are in business. Then you're ready to move forward with your idea or with your business. Then you can go to Nobip and say, listen, this is my idea. And you have to come up with some kind of statement to say, my business is for, who is it for? Maybe young mothers, okay, who are dissatisfied with what? What's the current offering in the market? The lack of daycares after hours. That is a real problem. There are young mothers who have stuff to do. Maybe I want to come for a meeting like this and there's nobody to look after my kids at 6:30. There's no daycare open in Sudbury. There's no 24-hour daycare in Sudbury. That's an opportunity for someone right there. Okay, people who are dissatisfied with the lack of after hours childcare services in Sudbury. Beautiful. My idea or my product or my service is a 24-hour daycare center. And you can even go further to say for children between the ages of 0 to 12. So I can take babies. If you have an infant and you need a night out and you need a break, I'll take your baby. Beautiful. You have just pulled in different groups of people who are going to give you their money to take care of their problem. So what does your idea or your business or your product provide? I provide childcare, affordable childcare services for young mothers who need childcare after hours. Unlike who? What is your competition? If you don't understand your competition, you won't be in business for long because you'll be shadowed and overshadowed. You have to understand who is currently playing in this space and what are they doing. And your idea solves what? So you describe the key features of your idea. That is the kind of statement you need to come. Take a screenshot of this page and slot in your idea, or keep fine tuning it until you get there. You may not get it at once. You may keep trying and trying and trying, but eventually you get listening to people. So this one is gold. This is my special gift to you. If you have any idea or something you want to work on, you need to know this. It's called solution pillars. And it's a system that was shared with me by a very dear coach of mine. If you have any idea, anyone whatsoever, it doesn't matter what it is, there are different ways you can present that idea. You can't do all. You have to pick your play. Pick which area you want to show up in. For example, you can show up with knowledge. Knowledge can be spoken. Someone who is a master of ceremony, this is where they fall. It can be written word. It can be you're writing books, you are writing articles, you're writing newsletters, magazines. That is knowledge. They're sharing knowledge in written form. Creative artistry, handcrafts. So this is where you have all the people in the trades, or people who can make clothes, people who can make hair. That's handcraft. In Nigeria, where I come from, we call it handwork. Some people have that. I don't really have that. The only one I have here is, is maybe cooking. I can make meals to survive, but I don't even want to do it at catering level. So your creative artistry can be expressed in handcrafts. Even caterers are in this category. So they prepare meals and you can see it. They prepare things that you can see, touch, and appreciate the beauty and creativity behind it. So you may just pick, you only need to pick one of this to establish your business in. And this is a framework that I find is mostly lacking in most people. They want their business to do two or three things at the same time. That's a recipe for failure. You pick one and you run with it. Or maybe you have a podcast, you are in the spoken word knowledge category. That is your business. That's the area that you focus on, and then you build it continuously in that way. Don't try to turn the podcast into something else and try to maybe say you want to make that some kind of technology. No, you are going to confuse yourself and you're going to reduce your ability to grow that thing into an empire that will outlive you. There's also reformation. Also, there's soft crafts as well. People who are creative online. You see web designers, all of those kind of things. People who can sketch, who can paint, who are photographers. This is their pillar. Then there's reformation, people who do advocacy work, people who are always fighting for rights of others. That's reformation, calling for social change. Those are in the reformation pillar. And then welfare, people who look after others, nonprofits, charities. We find ourselves here. We are looking after the welfare of humanity. Technology and innovation. Some people just want to build an app. All these things you're saying about clothing line, it's not their business. They just want to build an app where you can find all the businesses in Sudbury. That's it. That's their business idea, and it's very, very valid. Some people are ecosystem builders. They want to bring everybody together. Maybe an association, maybe like Afro Heritage. They want to bring all the African heritage organizations or people in Sudbury together. That's an ecosystem. They are building a complete system where you can find everything you need. One-stop shop, complete ecosystem. That is their business. That's their line. If they try to convert it into spoken artistry, they will have they will have challenges. They will have problems. Pick a niche and build that. Sit into it. Some people are funders. There are many organizations that all they do is to raise money for other organizations. They're not interested in running the business. They're not interested in doing the work. They just want to raise money for you. They have funds. They are grant writers. They they create a GoFundMe. The person who created GoFundMe is a funder. They don't want to raise the money. They want to create a system that can help you find the money. They are ecosystem builders. So this is what you do to your idea. You take it and you say, this thing, Mrs. Notch is saying, where does my idea fit in? How can I sit with this and build it? Once you find that, after clarifying you are on your way to success already. Then some people just want to do infrastructure. They want to make a co-working space. They want to create shared offices. They want to create better roads. They want to build, houses and all of those things. They are infrastructure creators. They want to build a manufacturing plant. All those people are infrastructure. They don't care about all these other things we've been saying. They just want to build something that others can pass their stuff through and things will go through. That's it. Some people are in the business of celebration. There was a lady that I coached recently, and she wanted to launch a business. She wasn't sure. She didn't have clarity on what to do. So she booked an appointment with me. And when I sat with her and with her idea, I said, "You are an entertainer. Sit in celebration. Don't go here or go there. Just sit with this celebration and crack it. That's your gold." And I gave her permutations of her idea for celebrations. And she was just looking at me like, "How did you know that?" I said, "Well, I'm a coach, so I know these things." Sit with that celebration. Some people just want to host shows, they want to host festivals and all those things. They are in the celebration pillar. They're not interested in making in doing spoken or written or all these other things we're saying. They just want to bring everybody together. There's some people that are in the business of just shows and businesses and performances and all of those things. It's the celebration pillar. That is their business, and it's very, very valid. Fashion shows, all of those things. The New York Fashion Show, they are not selling clothes. They're not interested in selling clothes. They just want to run that fashion show. And all the people that are making the best clothes in the world are struggling to go in their film festivals, all of those things. That's where they fall. Some people are in the projects space. They want to run those projects for you. What do you want to do, Mrs. Notch? I want to launch a clothing line for children. No problem. We can do it at so and so place. This is the venue. Event planners work very well here, and event coordinators. They take the stress out of it. The whole thing that was giving you sleepless nights, they put it together in 5 or 10 minutes, and you're wondering, what? How did you do that? That is their strength. That is their expertise. So they lean into that. That's pretty much how it works. So take whatever idea you have or system you're trying to build and plug it into this. Let's do an example. For example, if you want to do a fashion business for spoken word, you might do fashion business coaching. Two people might be interested in fashion and they have different things to do. Somebody might just want to coach people who want to start their own clothing line on how to set up their business. That's it. That's all they do. They don't have a clothing line themselves, or maybe they've done it before and they shut it down, or they've done it successfully and it's running. Now they're coaching others on how to do it. Spoken word, beautiful. That's why I coach very well, because this is my strength, this is my area. So a lot of the things that I do will involve coaching, mentorship, it will involve spoken word. If you look at the work we do at Thriving African Families, we're very heavy on training, education, and all of those things because I clarified me. I leaned into my strengths very well, and I knew that I would deploy everything that is me to executing that vision. If it's the written word, you might prepare quarterly reports. Some people publish white papers. You find a lot of academicians here, professors, and people like that. That's their pillar. They sit with that. The professor is not trying to run a festival. Not necessarily. He might be able to do that, but they will need a team to do that. But their core is what they are writing. So somebody that does fashion and wants to do creative artistry in handcraft, they will make bespoke clothes. They will make ready to wear clothing lines and things like that. So you may want to do fashion and all you want to do is just the ready to wear. I don't want to make bespoke. That's okay. Some people are very good at making tuxedos. They don't bother to make underwear. They just face that. Sometimes people try to launch things and then they put everything together and they're running with everything at once. It's too much. It'll be too heavy for you. Just pick one. What do you want to do? Recently, somebody told me about a pair of boxers that does not roll up when you wear it. That's the problem they're solving. We already have boxers, right? People wear boxers every day and sorry, briefs, but the briefs roll up on the thigh. So of young fellas came together and said, we want to create the kind of briefs that will not roll up when you wear them. And they have built a massive empire. All they make is briefs. They're not even making inner shirts, just those briefs. And they're not even cheap. And I thought, wow, this is just amazing. So sit within your pillar. A person that is in a reformation pillar as a fashion entrepreneur is going to work on recycling. There are people like that. There's a lady that I discovered recently in Africa who makes different fabrics that clothing cloth makers throw away, and she converts them into amazing pieces. That's a reformer. That's a reformer. That's pretty much how it works. So think in that line to say, how can I do this? Some people go into a system and they say, we want to revamp this. We want to eradicate or remove racism in schools. Those are reformers. If you don't have it in you, you can't grow it. Sit within the area that is yours. And there's some people that that's all they do, advocacy. There's some people that only work with, do you have an injury at work? Come see us. We want to represent you in court. We want to help you sue your employer. Those are reformers. The person in fashion that is doing welfare only wants to take proceeds from a fashion show and donate it to one orphanage or one charity and things like that. That's welfare. So they are interested in fashion. They don't want to make the clothes. They don't want to sell the clothes. They want to use fashion as a tool to raise money to look after people. That's amazing. Social enterprises are like that. We have a charity. This is our fundraiser. An organization like Community Builders, they are a social enterprise. So they build for you and they take that money and they put it back into the community. That's what they're in the business of doing. Technology, you might create an app that brings together different fashion solutions. I went for a conference last year and somebody created an app that is like the Uber of commercial kitchens. So you need a commercial kitchen as a caterer. You can't afford to have your own restaurant and all of that. Just go on the app, like the Airbnb of commercial kitchens. And I thought, people are geniuses. Look at what people are creating. And she raised millions of dollars with just that. Just that. She doesn't own a kitchen. She just brings all the kids together in an app. And you can go there and book the kitchen for the hours that you need to be. Many things that you can do when you sit within your pillar. Looking at my time, sure, and to finish this, so when you have clarified your idea, you have taken it through a service pillar, solve do you do next? You have to execute it. Please don't be in the category or on the table where you carry a vision in your heart for years and you don't do it. You carry an idea and you never start it. But it's still always better than perfect. You're better off starting it now. Anything worth doing is worth doing sooner rather than later. You have to get the first iteration of your work out there. Let me give you an example. When Thriving African Families started, in quote, it started from an online webinar like this for children in the community. That was 4.5 years ago. If I didn't do that first webinar, we won't be here now. I don't think I would be. You have to do the first iteration of your idea first. I know you want to build a beautiful music studio where people can rent and do all sorts of things. Amazing, beautiful. But you see that podcast that has been on your chest for the past 2 years? Please launch it for us. Thank you very much. Launch the podcast so that we can receive the goodness that you have for us. Launch, it can be a podcast about anything. It can be a YouTube channel. Do that first iteration first because ideas evolve. There's something called the evolution of ideas. I know this as I know my name. Ideas have twins that will come to you if you don't do the first one. You literally will not see the opportunity unlock unless you do the first iteration. I did several multiple iterations of my vision until it became a nonprofit. I didn't see the nonprofit until 3.5 years after I started the first thing. I did not see it at all. I didn't see it coming at all. But it continued to evolve. So you got to start, register the business and do it properly. It's not very expensive to register a business in Sudbury. If you don't know what to do, speak to Nobi. They have complete suite of solutions for you. Follow what they say. Just follow it. So when I coach people, I say, whatever you want to do, first of all, make room in your life. When I wanted to build a nonprofit, I put every other thing on my life on hold that year. Nothing else. I exited groups. I exited relationships. I took permissions from people, from mentors. I said no. I said more no's that year than yes. I turned down speaking engagements. I said no to everything. I was literally on a do not disturb status. All I was doing was working on my vision week after week after week after week. I put it on a spreadsheet. Week 1, this is what I'm doing. I did it for a whole year before the world heard about it. You have to start doing it. Work on your branding. Are you really a business owner if you don't have a logo, if you don't have an online presence? At the bare minimum, you should have social media. It's free. You should have that. There are many times that people just Google restaurants in Sudbury African clothes in Sudbury, ring lights in my neighborhood. You just Google something near me. If you are not coming up, we cannot do business with you anymore. We don't trust you. It happens a lot. Most of the time, the money follows the visibility. I can't tell you how many people say, I've been watching you online. Then we have an opportunity. Come and apply for this thing. And I say, what? And I look for the opportunity and I can't even publish. People are just watching you. You have a digital footprint. You have a personal brand. You're a business owner. You have to know that you have a personal brand too. People associate your personal brand with your business. You misrepresent yourself online, you lose money, you lose dollars, real dollars. People take a look at you and say, look, the way she's shaking her waist, I don't think she can do that daycare. I don't think I should put my kids there. You have to separate your personal brand from your business and look after both accordingly. At the very least, understand that and maintain composure, maintain the steez, even as you build. Then you need to have a launch plan. Launch that big idea. Just start it. Start it. You don't have to have a big ceremony or anything. Just start. Just announce it. I am now offering so and so services. But that is after you've done all the other things I've said. So that when we click on it, it actually takes us there. The link has to work. Don't send us a link that doesn't work. We're gone from there. We're not going to buy anymore. Don't send us something that says error 404. It's not going to work. Let's build right as Black people. Let's build things that will outlive us. And then you have to have your operations in place. You have to set things up, have standard operating processes, that have procedures, rather have SOPs in place. Just document your process, write the structure. How do I do this from start to finish? This is what you start with. Just write it down. Get up in the morning, make my bed, take a shower, say my prayers. Just write down the steps of all the things you are doing now, because eventually you will need to step out of your business and hand it over to someone else. They shouldn't have to open your brain to know what to do. All you need to do is hand them a document. That's all. They read it and they say, okay, I understand what I'm supposed to do now. And they can ask you questions if they have questions for you. Then your product or your service, you have to develop it. So that lady that came to see me to say, listen, this is my idea and all of that, I developed services and products for her immediately and said, this is what you can do. This is what you're already doing. Continue with this. This is what you are trying to do. That's a different business entirely. And she said, huh? I said, that's a different expression. Don't launch it together. You're going to get confused. And she said, oh, I didn't know that. I said, it's very different. Put it aside. Separate the work so that you can see clearly. That's another conversation for another day. But develop your service. What are you offering? I'm a caterer. Where is your menu? Where is your price list? Some people put all sorts of things on WhatsApp groups. Oh, I make hair. I sell clothes. I sell this. I sell that. How much is it? We have to get into your DM to know the price. Then you're posting pictures of things. We look at it. We like it. We cannot even determine whether we can afford it or not. We are gone. We'll go and buy from somebody else who has a website, who has prices there, and is probably more expensive than you because they have structure. So develop your product or service, even if it's one thing. Let it be clear. I offer only local soups. I don't make jollof rice. I don't make fried rice, only soups. I make cakes. We will know you for that. We're not going to ask you for pastries, right? Clarify what it is that you want to do. That's how you set strategic goals. So all of these things that you have here, you take it and you break it down. Your customer or community engagement. How are you getting the word out there? WhatsApp groups is great, but it's insufficient. You don't own the WhatsApp group. Admin might decide that they're not having any comments or posts on that day. How are you going to reach your customers? You have to have a plan in place. Some people say, oh, I have a program coming up. This is what I need. Can you help me share? You want me to share a program that is happening in August? That's too far ahead. Do you have a marketing plan? No. Do you have a promotional strategy? No. Do you have a marketing kit? No. So how do we help you? You have to know how you want to engage with your community to get your business. And then profitability and sustainability. How are you going to keep this going? Are you even profitable? I have a friend who is a caterer, and she was excited that a lot of money was going in and out of her account. She had good cash flow. And then I said, what is your profit from this business? And she said, profit. Like, how do I calculate that? So I said, when you charge X amount of money for a bottle of water, how do you know how much you're making per bottle? And she said, I don't know that. I said, just go to Nobit. Because it's happened to me before. When I first in Canada, I would make food, I would cater for people, and maybe I charge 150 for a bowl of soup, and I'm excited because now I have $150. But one day I sat and I did the math and I realized I bought beef, I bought vegetables, I bought tomatoes, I bought pepper, I bought spices, I bought oil, I bought the pan that I put the food in. Uh, I was already at about 120 already. Then I spent 4 hours preparing the meal. So even if I make $5 an hour, which is ridiculous, right? What is minimum wage? I'm already at 140. That means my profit from that $150 was $10. I cried. That was the day I shut down cooking for people. I didn't do it anymore because I realized that I wasn't making anything. You mean I've been on my feet for 4 hours for $10? I should have slept. It would have profited my body better to sleep than to do this. So if you have all these things in place, you're not in business, not business. Then you build your roadmap. You started. I've broken down how you started. This is what a roadmap is called. How do I get there? You start it, you grow it, you expand it, then you come back and you review it. You have to constantly review. I review my business every month. I go back to say, what is Thriving African Families doing right? What are we not doing okay? Where are the gaps? How can we improve? And then we continue to refine and refine and refine. My team members have to send a monthly report on each of their departments, and I meet with them individually to say, okay, this is good, this is doing okay. Why did this drop? Why did that drop? I still reviewed today, so I review before they review. So by the time they come to me, I already know the answers. So it's okay. Why did engagement drop posts from so and so day to day? What happened here? I want to know what happened here. Is it the type of post? Is it the time we posted? Is it the way we did it? What was not right there? And then we refine. And then you discover, oh, when I share things on WhatsApp, so nobody reads it. I discover that when I post things on LinkedIn on a Sunday, on a weekend, engagement is poor, engagement is low. So I understand how to craft a strategy from that as well. Like I said, strategy will save you. I am the queen of strategy. I use it in everything, even in my relationships. That is how useful it is. And then stay accountable. When I was building Thriving African Families, I hired an accountability coach for a whole year, literally a whole year. And she had me on chokehold. She had me on choke. I will see her emails and I will lose sleep. I'll see her emails and I'll get to work all night because I have to answer. You need to answer to someone. Your spouse, your partner is not your accountability partner for business. They can be your consultant, they can be because your emotions will jump in. Your emotions will jump in and you get emotional. You just make a mess of everything, right? Get somebody that holds you accountable, somebody that you do not want to lose respect with, somebody that matters to you, that you look up to, or that you have paid to hold you accountable. And when they do, you better be accountable. Because even on my journey, my accountability coach, I had a personal challenge, a storm, and I said, oh, I just give up. I don't want to do this anymore. Oh, my life. He got emotional and everything. And she just told me, hey, can I have your deliverables for this month? I I read her message and I became mad. I'm like, I not tell you what happened to me? How can you, how can you ask me for deliverables? And she said, I'm sorry, Mrs. Notch. I love you. I empathize with you, but you need to get this done. So can I have your business model canvas? That was what was due. And I said, goodness gracious. And I had even done it. Can you imagine? I had done it, but I was just feeling down and I didn't want to, submit it for her to go through for me and all of that. She held me accountable. I submitted it. So there's no army that can withstand the strength of an idea whose time has come. When something is brewing in your heart, when it's top of mind for you, when it's a burden, when it's at the it's at the surface, you can see that I need to do this thing. I need to do this. I want to do this. I'm trying to do this. You keep talking, you keep saying, you've told your friends, you've told everybody. At some point in my life, my husband was like, you keep saying, I want to do this, I want to do it. Just go and do it. Do it and let's have peace. Go and do it. And I thought, oh my gosh, that is feedback. I'm not even going to say anything anymore. I'm just going to go do it. I'm going to deliver. And when I deliver, like I want to redeem myself. When I deliver, I want you to see that I've delivered. So stop talking about it. Stop saying you're going to go to Nobe. Book the appointment. Just go. Go and do everything they say because the time for your idea has come. And there's nothing that can withstand it because ideas get stale too. Ideas are like currency. They move. They're like thought. They're like breeze. They just say, do you want me? 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 And they're dancing around. If you want them, you take it. If you don't want it, it just goes. You even forget. You forget that you had such a beautiful idea because you did nothing with it. That thing that you've wanted to do for a long time, you've been thinking about it for 6 years. By now, it's almost a dot. You can't even remember the details, and maybe you didn't even write it down. That makes it even worse. So you can't do much with it. So that's my little submission for you today. I hope that you found this helpful, and I hope that you can take it and really craft your work with it. I want you to do good business with what I've shared with you today. Thank you very much. I don't know if we have time for questions, Gina.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Notch. We're forever humbled for constantly teaching us and for always showing up for us. We do have time. Maybe we can do like 5 minutes. And for those that can stay, that would be great. And those that cannot, you can always head over to YouTube on Monday and you can be able to find the video there. But you can just unmute yourself and ask Mrs. Notch a question. We've understood, Mrs. Notch, like we're good students. Nobody has a question.
Okay.
That means that you nailed it.
Because when there are no questions, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, what's going on?
There's so many comments though in the comment section. Like I'm gonna have to like print them out for you because like there's a lot of them. But right now, thanks for this was timely and productive. Thanks, loved it. So informative. Like everything is along those lines. Thank you, Mrs. Notch, and thank you, everyone. This is Friday, and she chose to be here spending this Friday with us, and you guys took time out of your Fridays, and we're here with us. So thank you so much. And Mrs. Notch, I cannot thank you enough. I am always a student of yours. Thank you.
Anything for you, Gina.
I appreciate it. Oh, Mrs. Notch, is it possible? Somebody was saying that, can they get your slides? But I think in the beginning, she wanted you to take pictures. So I don't know. Mrs. Notch, you take that one.
I can send them to you if you want. It's fine.
Okay, so Ikena, I will put my email down here, and whoever needs those slides, you can email me and I'll be able to share them with you once Mrs. Notch shares them with me. And that's me. My email is ginag@nobip.ca. And if you would like access to Mrs. Notch's slides, you can send me an email and just bear with us, and then we'll get them to you at as soon as possible, as soon as we can. That's the right way. All right, everybody, have a good evening, and thank you so much for showing up and showing out. And I hope that somebody had something they learned, and you took so many. I have like a whole page of notes. So thank you so much.